all of them.
Ashwaju played a major role in,
he did not participate in street protests. I'm talking about street protests now.
No, but Ashwaju was harassed and arrested, and they call him the bastion of democracy.
Look, everybody like to call themselves whatever name they wanted. I'm not saying he didn't participate. They participated at the level of Nadeco. They were more of the, administrative office-based, house-based protest leaders, and they had their own. But I'm talking about direct action in Nigeria, in which we were in front of armor tanks on the Ikorodu Road, and the army would be shelling us and killing people beside us. They weren't there. Yeah. I've never worked for any establishment. You see, the way Sahara Reporter was set up was that it was for anonymous tips. That's how it started. People just put in information. They send them by emails. I've had emails sent to me before. I said thank you, and the email had been deleted. Just, it's at that purpose. And there are several other ways through which we collected information that I won't share with you because Sahara is still around and we still need to keep those pipelines active. To the point that for a long time, nobody even knew I was the one behind Sahara Reporters. Even when they knew I was the one, they didn't know who else was in Sahara. That was why Daily Beast, a very influential US-based newspaper, once described Sahara Reporters as the WikiLeaks of Africa because of some of the stories we broke in those days. And some of them were beneficial to all the politicians. For instance, when Yaradua was sick, nobody knew his health status except Sahara Reporters. In fact, Sahara Reporters was able to prepare the people who were to take over for it by saying, look, this man is brain dead. And that was what happened. Yaradua had died 5 months, brain dead 5 months before he was brought to Nigeria. But even the vice president then, Jonathan, did not know. I will reveal to you today that some people duped him. They duped him. They went and collected money from him that they would get Yaradua's picture in the hospital. And they went and did a Photoshop and gave to him. And I heard he paid $500,000 for it.
But what of that interview?
They wanted a coup. It was our reporters that foiled that coup by revealing that they were planning the coup. I wanted the country to be aware that Yaradua is not coming back and the proper transition should happen. And I single-handedly followed every lead I could find, every information regarding his health records. They would have killed me if they could find me during that time, the Yaradua cabal. And the other people, the Jonathan people, had no clue what was going on with Yaradua. No clue. They were just tossing them around in Abuja, small boys. There was no election in 2019.
No, but there were elections.
I'm saying it to you. I ran an election. That was a scam. It was a selection.
No, there were elections.
It was a selection. They just allocated votes to people. That's what they did.
People voted.
Who voted? People voted, but the vote didn't count. That's the problem. They just allocated, they did what they usually do. And the coalition.
The Supreme Court rectified it.
Supreme Court? Is it the first time the Supreme Court will rectify fraud in Nigeria? Was Yaradua came after he won an election, that he knew that his election was a scam. After the Supreme Court had ratified it. Is it not the Supreme Court that made somebody who was a fourth in Imo governor today? Which Supreme Court are you talking about? So you can create an impression. You can contrive support. You can actually bamboozle and brainwash people to say, look, this is where you should be now. But what I'm saying is that we're not there yet to be making declaration that youths are in support of anyone other than the direction they should go. So that's the first one I want to say to you. The second aspect of it is that you see there are youths and there are critical masses of youth as well. And one of the reasons why you should be able to discern the difference is the death of the Queen in the last few days, and how some young people you think were conscious were celebrating the death of the Queen, mourning her. And some other more conscious youths are saying, look, this is the time to start debating colonialism and the theft of African diamonds, slavery, and what our ancestors did. And if we should even continue as members of the Commonwealth if we are the only people who are common in the Commonwealth. It is that moment that we are reaching now. It's not going to happen overnight. I have always been with the young people, but I'm no longer a youth. I'm 51 years old, but I'm youthful. I want to see young people who say to themselves, I am this, I used to say 4 years ago, it used to be Malians, you don't wear trousers or you don't wear belts, And then came NSAS and everybody's like, oh my God, this is not a revolutionary movement. And they start talking about that because young people are impressionable, you must understand. But those who are conscious cannot just fall by, fluff.
Yeah.
No, so I'm pretty confident that the youth you are talking about will find their level. They're like water. They'll find that right level, and that will make it happen at the end. Because nobody thought youth in Nigeria will have EndSARS in 2019. We were the ones saying that structures that are in existence are not real structures. Some of the people who are now agreeing with us used to mock us in those days that, oh, you don't have structures. Because we said the structures of the major legacy political parties, they are transactional structures. They are for purposes of, I rub my back, I rub your back, you rub my back. Those people don't, because they don't have any ideological base. And now, we said to people in 2019, it's the people that are the structure. And that's where we are now. Some of the most exciting political groups now have said the same thing, that they don't need those kind of old structures, that the structures they need are the people. And that the people, when they need to move, we move in the direction of structures that can deliver them from misery. That's where we are now. They've come to that point. They've come to agree with us. With regards to money, yes, money is needed, but we need people more than we need money. Because you can spend all the money in this world to bribe people, and if they don't believe in you, they will leave your money behind and go for what is most intrinsic in their life, values. Yes, nobody would have been talking about a different political reality in 2022, 23 had there not been EndSARS. I'm telling you, especially for young people. It was like, that's the point at which they tasted blood. And they don't want to go back. But would there have been EndSARS if people like you and I have not been talking, moralizing on radio, on the internet? If there was no revolution now, for instance, in 2019 after the election, in which the structures you are talking about.
Why do you want to do that?
Yes. So I want to get there. The structures that fought for revolution now happen in over 26 states. I'm telling you, the structures that can confront armored tank, police, go to jail, they are better structures. They are more solid structures than structures that collect 5,000 during elections. And we have them. Our party have them all over this country. Because revolution now was actually the idea of the AAC. It was AAC's idea. But the moment they saw that AAC made a proposal for revolution now, they went and hijacked the party from me and got me arrested and detained before I could come out of detention. They had claimed that the AAC is now in the hands of a number of reactionaries, which was ended when we won in the Court of Appeal. So these structures, young people that fought during revolution now, are you dispelling them as no structure? Of course, they're real structures. The structures that took the risk to dismantle the most notorious police rogue unit in Nigeria through EndSARS.
Subsidy, Sowore. Subsidy.
Subsidy is a scam.
So what are you going to do about it? What's your solution?
The first solution is to revive the refineries, 4 of them that we have, and make sure they are producing at least decent capacity.
Where are you going to get the money from?
Where are we getting money to pay for subsidy? The money that we're using to pay for subsidy in 6 months can fix all the refineries. But you are going to give the refineries to people who know how to fix refineries and not mechanics who don't know how to fix refineries. You knew what they did under Obasanjo. 500 million was given to someone who had no idea how to fix bicycles, to fix the refinery, and make our phone. That's how we started.
In how many years are you going to fix this refinery?
It doesn't take a long time. If you are in the right, if you have the right people in the country, it won't take so long. I mean, imagine Niger Delta militants are refining diesel and selling, and the Nigerian state cannot refine kerosene. Niger Delta militants, they have become refiners all around the country. I'm doing very well at it. Why can't the Nigerian state refine its own crude? And we take the crude out. This is a scam. We don't need to even debate it because this is like very transparent scam, by the way.
What are you going to do concerning our national debts? 119% debt to service ratio. We're borrowing to service
This
debt.
is the problem with the national debt is that we're borrowing for consumption. Otherwise, even the national debt as it stands today, the debt to GDP ratio is not bad, yes. Our problem is debt to revenue. We're not making enough, and the reason is, of course, we are losing 700,000 barrels of crude oil to thieves. And they're not Niger Delta thieves. I will never call anybody Niger Delta thief. It's the national thieves. The NNPC MD said it, that people who are stealing those 700,000 per day are in Abuja. I said it yesterday, I'll repeat it here again for the first time. The NNPC was the first organization to secede from Nigeria. It's a country on its own. Until you bring the NNPC back into Nigeria, you cannot get their revenue to service things you need within Nigeria. It's a behemoth that is sucking life out of the people of Nigeria.
So how would you increase the revenue coming into federal costs?
Well, we have to plug immediately the losses.
They say you don't have political experience. That's what they keep saying.
I'm shocked when you say that I should go to the Senate. Why would I be senator in a country that has Buhari as president, when Buhari doesn't even know his level is right?
No, you can't be insulting the president.
No, I'm a citizen of Nigeria.
No, you shouldn't be doing that.
You can sue me for cyber stuff.
Sure, you shouldn't be doing that. You shouldn't be doing that. Those are the kind of things people say about that. That's unprecedented.
No,
you don't need to make your point with insulting people.
No, it's not.
That's what a lot of people say.
It's the truth. It's the truth. The country bears testimony to the fact that our leaders don't know what they're doing.
But people will argue with you in the long run that, hey, they want that presidential person out of you. You can make your points, articulate your points. People will not argue with you, not shutting down their mental capacity, not saying they are not good enough.
The president of the country is the chief truth seeker and speaker of the country. He's not the person who sugarcoats. You go to Israel, right?
Yeah.
Their president talk about the dignity of their own people, even if they are doing it the wrong way.
Let's talk about terrorist financing.
Yes.
There's been a lot of financing of terrorism. Money goes out everywhere. We've not been able to track it. You all saw the arrest recently by DSS. What are you going to do as regards stopping terrorist financing?
I want to disagree with you that we can track it.
Why?
We're tracking. We're just not doing something about it.
So what's happening?
People who are involved. Powerful people are involved. Terrorism is powerful. It's a powerful international conspiracy against nation states, individuals, and terrorist financing is just like drug trade too. There are powerful people involved. But to say that we have not been able to track is not true. We know the people who are financing terrorists. The Attorney General announced that they have 400 people in detention 2 years ago. None of them were prosecuted today because they were connected, highly connected. Dubai, on the other hand, the UAE, on the other hand, captured some of them and they're in jail. How is it that those who were caught in the UAE prosecuted and jailed? And
so what would you do about that?
No, I will make sure that they are prosecuted. And we also...
Do you have the political will?
Oh, yeah, so I do.
How strong is your will?
Sure. Go ask Buhari, go ask Babangida, ask Abacha. Deciding that we want to change it in our lifetime, it will take a toll. Most people, and I use the opportunity to say it all the time, I refuse to change my Nigerian citizenship, even though I spent 20 years in America.
So you only have a Nigerian passport?
Yes, that's the one they are holding. If I had an American passport, I would have left.
But you have an American residency?
Yes, I have an American residency, but no, I don't have American citizenship because I refuse to apply.
Okay, thank you.
We are still collecting money from Abacha, who died a long time ago. So we should be able to collect back from those who are still alive. They will be made to return every dime they stole.